Today, we're digging into a fantastic story inspired by the We the Italians podcast, looking at the two anniversaries and one heart that connect Italy and the USA. We're going to explore how Italy played a huge and often unsung role in America's greatness. And believe me, this story goes way beyond pizza and pasta. It gets right to the philosophical and physical foundations of America itself.
So let me start with a big question, one that's going to frame everything we talk about today. What if the America you think you know, its famous ideals, its incredible monuments, its heroes, was actually shaped by Italian minds and hands whose names have been pretty much forgotten by history? All right, so here's our game plan. First, we'll look at Italy's hidden legacy in America. Then we'll meet a philosopher who actually influenced the founding fathers. After that, we'll talk about the immigrant artisans who literally carved America's monuments. Then we'll get into a sports icon who changed perceptions. And finally, we'll see how this amazing connection is still alive today. Our story really unfolds in three key parts. We're talking about the intellectual blueprint for the nation's mind, the physical identity literally carved into its monuments, and a whole new dimension added to its cultural heart. Okay, let's start with that first pillar, the mind. We're going to travel back to the 18th century and meet a guy named Gaetano Filangieri. He was this brilliant young legal mind from Naples, and his ideas on law and society traveled all the way across the Atlantic and landed right in the hands of America's founding fathers.
Now this is where it gets really fascinating. We all know that iconic phrase from the Declaration of Independence, the individual pursuit of happiness. But Filangieri, he was talking about something even bigger, public happiness. He believed that the collective well-being of everybody should be the absolute supreme law of any fair and just society. A subtle but pretty powerful difference, right?
And listen, this wasn't just some casual idea for him. He was obsessed with it. The concept was so central to his thinking that the word felicità, that's Italian for happiness, shows up over 160 times in his major work. He was literally trying to build a legal system from the ground up, all designed to create a happy society. And you might be thinking, okay, but did anyone important actually read this stuff? Well, how about Benjamin Franklin himself? Franklin actually corresponded with Filangieri and called his work invaluable. This quote right here is the smoking gun. It's that direct, tangible link showing that Italian Enlightenment ideas were right there in the mix when the American Republic was being born.
So from the mind that shaped American ideals, we're now going to turn to the hands that shaped its physical form. This is the incredible story of the Piccirilli Brothers. These were 6 immigrant artisans from Tuscany who, and I mean this literally, carved America's most recognizable symbols right out of solid stone.
We all know this monument, right? The Lincoln Memorial is an absolute anchor in Washington, D.C. It's this powerful symbol of American strength and ideals. Millions upon millions of people go stand in front of it, totally in awe, every single year.
But here's the part of the story you probably never heard. That massive 19-foot-tall statue of Abraham Lincoln, it wasn't carved there on the National Mall. No, it was painstakingly brought to life, piece by piece, from 28 huge blocks of marble in a studio up in the Bronx. And the hands that did the work belonged to those 6 Piccirilli brothers.
And this is what perfectly illustrates a really painful part of their story. Despite their monumental, and I mean that in every sense of the word, contribution to America's identity, you can't find their name anywhere on that memorial. They were the master craftsmen, the artists behind the icon, but they remained anonymous.
Okay, now we're going to shift gears. We've talked about the mind and the hands, so let's move to America's cultural heart. And we're going to do that by talking about a man who, with his quiet dignity and just jaw-dropping talent, helped completely redefine what it meant to be Italian-American in the 20th century. The one and only Joe DiMaggio.
56. For baseball fans, that number says everything. DiMaggio's 56-game hitting streak back in 1941, it's like a holy grail of sports records. It's this monument to consistency, to grace under pressure, and to pure excellence. And guess what? It's never been broken.
But you know, his legacy is so much bigger than just that one incredible streak. The guy was a constant winner, a true patriot who served his country in World War II, and, maybe most importantly, he was a symbol of incredible class and professionalism at a time when Italian Americans were really fighting against some ugly stereotypes.
And that's really the crucial point here. DiMaggio did more than just play baseball. With his quiet grace and his undeniable greatness, he became a cultural bridge. He gave his community a powerful, positive new image, showing everyone that Italian Americans could represent the very best of American ideals.
Now, this legacy of Italian craftsmanship, of shaping a new identity through hard work and creativity, it didn't just end with the Piccirillis or with DiMaggio's generation. No way! It's a living tradition. It's like an invisible torch that's been passed down from the past right into our present day.
Okay, now check out this timeline, because this is kind of wild. In 1970, the very same year the Piccirilli Brothers' historic studio in the Bronx was torn down, literally erasing a piece of their physical legacy, a brand new link in this artistic chain was being forged. Across the ocean in Rome, a fifth-generation artisan named Dante Mortet was born. You can't make this stuff up. It's almost poetic.
So Morte, feeling this incredible connection across time, designed a project to honor it. It's a pair of twin bronze sculptures, both of a hand. The plan is to place one in the port of New York and the other in Genoa, with each one pointing across the ocean toward the other, creating this permanent physical bridge that symbolizes the journey, the work, and that creative fire that Italian migrants brought with them to America.
And that just captures everything perfectly, doesn't it? The hand. It's the hand that wrote Filangieri's philosophy of happiness. It's the hand that held the chisel for the Piccirilli brothers. And it's the hand that gripped the bat for Joe DiMaggio. It truly is the emblem of a people who create, who work, and who transform everything they touch.
So, as we wrap this up, the story of Italy's huge role in America's greatness really leaves us with a challenge. It kind of pushes us to look past the official names on the monuments and in the history books, and to start asking ourselves, what other hidden architects from every corner of the world have been quietly shaping the world we live in today?